Thank you for choosing the Nonpartisan Journal. I'm Anna Monroe. This is a very exciting episode we have today, as today we have one of our advisors, Captain RJ. Captain RJ is a retired licensed captain through the United States Coast Guard. He's traveled extensively around the world and has an impressive background in survival and has been involved in hurricane recovery. And to name one specifically, Hurricane Katrina. Captain, I want to thank you for your time today. We'll jump right into it. So, Captain, what's necessary for immediate and long-term survival in an SHTF or World Without Rule of Law situation?
Anna, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. You asked me about what's necessary to survive SHTF or World Without Rule of Law, which are two entirely different things but can be the same. Without rule of law means you're kind of on your own or with whomever you're with. But no matter which one it is, the four necessary things, essential that you must have. First, water. Each human being to survive needs about a gallon of water a day just to stay hydrated, to keep the mind working properly, to keep everything functioning. You're going to be under a lot of stress, so the water is necessary. You need the water for cleaning, you need the water for cooking, but more importantly, you need the water for hydration. And just because you see a lot of water around you, it's not potable, it's not drinkable, it's toxic. You have to have clean drinking water. Number two is food. You must have calories, carbohydrates for the brain to function, for the body to work properly. Again, you're going to be under a lot of stress in these situations. Food is paramount. Non-perishable foods. To be safe, if you find foods in abandoned grocery stores, abandoned housing, on a dead body, canned goods are safe. Number three, you need a way to start a fire. I tell all of my guys, carry a bunch of big lighters, carry a striker. Always have a way to start a fire. You need a fire to signal for help. You need a fire to stay warm. You need a fire to cook. Fire is important. And last but not least is shelter. You need something to shelter you from the storm. You need something to shelter you from whatever's going on. A shelter could be simply a tarp or a blanket. It could be underneath an old house. It could be underneath a flipped over boat. But you need shelter. So if you have these four things, you can survive. Now, again, we're going back to without rule of law or just basically shit hit the fan. Tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, things of that nature. If it's rule of law, and sometimes even crap hit the fan, you could be dealing with shady characters. People come completely out of character in these situations. They tend to do things that they wouldn't normally do. So if you're in a place that's heavily populated, your neighbor could be your best friend or could become your instant enemy. So you need to know who your people are and you need to be prepared. Those are the four things that are necessary to survive immediately as well as long term. But as this thing stretches out, is it going to be 72 hours? Is it going to be 3 or 4 weeks? Is it going to stretch out for 3 months or 7 months? No one knows. That's why it's always good to be prepared. To have things stored up, to have water stored up, to have a place to fall back to have like-minded people that you can rely on in these situations. Vitally important. Communication. I'll just touch on that a little bit, but hand-to-hand radios, a ham radio that you can stretch out and reach out to others in other communities and find out what's going on is very important if you can afford that. Now, without rule of law, and again, shady characters, people that are just trying to survive just like you, and they tend to sink to the lowest common denominator and do things that they wouldn't normally do. Your situation may be that you don't only have to protect what you have and the people with you, how will you do it? No one really wants to hurt another human being. But when other human beings are hungry, they become animalistic. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, I've seen it with my own two eyes. It's not pretty. A little bit more advice is that living in a megaplex, large cities with big populations, when these things happen, that is the most dangerous place that you can be. If you have any inclination that something's coming down the pipe, a lot of times you know a hurricane is coming. Don't wait till the last minute. Leave. Have somewhere to go. Have something planned out way in advance. Tornadoes, they pop up and they happen so quick, you really can't plan for that. I say be prepared at all times. Inner cities are the last place that you want to be because everybody is going to become your enemy instantly. You need to be prepared for that. I don't know how you would get out if you're not ready. Safety. You want to keep yourself safe because if you're not safe, you can't keep your loved ones and the people in your group safe. Everyone has to be on the same mindset. You need to have a drill and you need to practice these things. Let's not wait till the last minute and then something happens and people are acting out on their emotions and in their fear. If you're the leader of your group, you have to remain calm, cool, and collected because you're responsible for yourself and the people around you.
Thank you again, Captain, for being with us here today on the Nonpartisan Journal. We appreciate you and the advice you've given, and we hope to see you again soon. For those of you who have enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, the Nonpartisan Journal, and give this video a thumbs up. We'll see you next time, and thank you so much for tuning in.